Welcome to Ping 24 Updates, your daily dose of what's happening around the world. Subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The salt-laced wind swept across the naval yard at Kure, Japan, carrying with it the weight of history and the promise of change. As dawn broke, the first rays of sunlight glinted off the hulls of mighty warships, hinting at a new chapter for maritime power in Asia. On the water, 6 formidable silhouettes stood at attention. Abukuma-class destroyers, their steel forms both a testament to Japanese engineering and a symbol of potential transformation for the Philippines. These ships, once guardians of Japan's own shores, now stood as possible gifts, ready to serve a new flag. The Philippine Navy's top brass, in crisp white uniforms, walked the steel decks with a sense of purpose and anticipation. Their mission was clear: to inspect these vessels that could reshape the nation's defense, and perhaps, its destiny. This was more than a hardware check. It was a pivotal moment for Philippine maritime strength, a direct response to rising tensions in the South China Sea. Every bolt and bulkhead was scrutinized, every system tested, as the officers weighed the ship's potential to defend their homeland. For years, the Philippines has struggled to modernize its aging fleet, patrolling one of the world's longest and most vulnerable coastlines with limited resources. Old ships and small patrol boats have been stretched thin, facing growing threats in increasingly contested waters. Now, Japan's offer presents a monumental opportunity, one that could redefine the Philippines' role in regional security and strengthen its alliances. Acquiring 6 warships, even if they are older models, would instantly boost the Navy's capabilities, allowing for more robust patrols, better deterrence, and a stronger presence in disputed waters. But the decision is complex, carrying logistical and financial challenges. Integrating these ships into the fleet will require new training, maintenance, and resources. No small feat for a Navy already stretched thin. Filipino delegates moved with purpose, inspecting every inch of the ships, envisioning them patrolling the West Philippine Sea and protecting national sovereignty. They debated the ship's readiness, their armaments, and the upgrades needed to make them truly battle-ready. The world is watching, knowing this decision will send powerful signals across the Indo-Pacific. Allies and rivals alike are keenly aware that Manila's choice could shift the balance of power in the region. Accepting the ships would signal a deeper alliance with Japan and the United States, and a direct challenge to China's regional claims. It would show Manila's willingness to stand firm with its partners and defend its interests. Declining, or accepting only some, would suggest hesitation or recognition of the practical difficulties. It could be seen as a cautious approach, weighing the risks of escalation and the realities of limited resources. The stakes are high. This is about national pride, strategic partnerships, and the future of regional security. The decision will shape not just the Navy, but the nation standing in a rapidly changing world. The decision rests on a knife's edge, balancing ambition with reality, hope with caution. Every option carries consequences, and the world is waiting to see which path the Philippines will choose. Will the Philippines say yes? The answer will have far-reaching consequences not just for the Navy, but for the entire region's security architecture. Accepting the ships would be a bold statement of intent, a declaration that the Philippines is ready to defend its waters and assert its sovereignty. It would mark a new era for the Philippine Navy, inspiring confidence at home and sending a message abroad that Manila is prepared to meet the challenges of the future. The outcome will chart the country's course on the world stage, influencing alliances, rivalries, and the very shape of maritime security in Asia. The world waits for Manila's answer, knowing that whatever the decision, it will echo far beyond the shores of the Philippines. The Philippine Navy's technical team arrived in Japan with a clear and critical mandate: to thoroughly evaluate the 6 Abukuma-class destroyer escorts being considered for transfer. This was a mission that carried significant weight, as the future of the Philippine fleet could hinge on their findings. This was no mere courtesy visit. It was an intensive, hands-on deep dive into the heart of these Cold War-era vessels, each with decades of service and stories etched into their steel. For days, engineers, weapons specialists, and naval architects meticulously crawled through the ships, examining every detail. They checked hull integrity for signs of fatigue, scrutinized engines for reliability, and pored over maintenance logs to understand the ship's histories and upkeep. Specialized teams assessed the combat systems, radar and sonar arrays, evaluating not just their current state but also how seamlessly these could be integrated with Philippine technology and operational doctrine. On the bridge, Filipino and Japanese officers engaged in detailed discussions about operational procedures, even simulating patrol scenarios to test the ship's capabilities in real-world situations. The overarching goal was clear: understand exactly what it would take to operate, maintain, and deploy these ships effectively in the challenging and often unpredictable waters of the Philippines. The Filipino officers also closely observed the disciplined and meticulous operational culture of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, taking note of best practices and routines. They absorbed lessons and insights that would prove invaluable if these ships were to one day sail under a new flag, fostering cooperation and understanding between the two navies. The inspection then turned to the ship's armaments, main guns, anti-submarine rockets, and torpedo tubes. Each weapon system was carefully evaluated for condition, remaining service life, and the logistical needs for future operation. The team asked tough questions. Could these ships truly deter aggression and defend Philippine interests in a rapidly changing maritime environment? The answers to these questions would form the backbone of the team's comprehensive recommendation to Manila, shaping the future of the Philippine Navy. The fate of this historic transfer rested on their detailed report. Every checklist, every observation, and every expert opinion mattered in this inspection of a lifetime. The Abukuma-class destroyer escorts built in the late Cold War were designed for anti-submarine warfare. Agile and reliable, they're well-suited for coastal and archipelagic operations. Their propulsion system offers both fuel efficiency and high-speed performance, ideal for the Philippines' vast maritime territory. Each ship is equipped with radar, sonar, anti-submarine rockets, torpedo launchers, a rapid-fire main gun, and Harpoon anti-ship missiles. While not state-of-the-art by today's standards, their proven design offers a major leap in capability. Electronics and air defense are dated, lacking modern vertical launch systems. Still, these ships provide a solid foundation for modernization. The Abukuma class is a stepping stone, not the final destination, for the Philippine Navy. With upgrades, they could meet modern threats. Their arrival would mark a significant advance in Philippine maritime defense. But modernization is essential for long-term relevance. Acquiring 6 Abukuma-class ships would nearly double the Philippine Navy's major surface combatants overnight. This surge in numbers allows for a more persistent presence across the archipelago. With advanced radar and sonar, these ships would enhance maritime domain awareness and patrol the West Philippine Sea more effectively. Their anti-submarine capabilities fill a critical gap, protecting sea lanes and deterring underwater threats. The ships would also serve as powerful symbols of national resolve, escorting supply missions and protecting fishermen. While not the most advanced, their presence complicates any aggressor's calculations. They raise the stakes in defending Philippine sovereignty, the message the Philippines is serious about its maritime defense. The excitement surrounding the acquisition of 6 advanced warships is undeniable, but it is quickly tempered by a host of immense practical challenges that lie ahead for the Philippine Navy. Even if these ships are provided at a low initial cost, the process of reactivating, refitting, and upgrading them to meet operational standards will place significant strain on the already stretched defense budget. Beyond the upfront expenses, the long-term costs of maintenance, fuel, and sourcing spare parts for Japanese-built ships will add further financial pressure, requiring careful planning and sustained funding. The Navy must not only establish a new supply chain for these vessels, but also ensure it can reliably keep all 6 ships fully operational for many years to come, which is a complex logistical undertaking. Each ship demands a crew of 220, so nearly 1,400 new sailors must be recruited and trained, many of whom will need to master specialized systems unique to these ships. Building this training pipeline will take years, require significant investment, and demand ongoing support to ensure sailors are fully prepared for their roles. Integrating Japanese ships into a fleet that already includes American and Korean vessels adds another layer of complexity, as each class of ship comes with its own systems and operational procedures. Ensuring seamless communication and true interoperability between these different platforms is a major technical challenge that cannot be underestimated. Without effective integration, the new ships risk operating in isolation, unable to coordinate with the rest of the fleet during critical missions. The Navy must develop new doctrines, invest in advanced technology, and adapt its tactics to unify the fleet and maximize the potential of these new assets. Accepting these ships means making a long-term commitment to solving deep logistical puzzles and overcoming significant operational hurdles, but the rewards could be transformative for the Navy's future. This transfer is more than hardware. It's a symbol of the deepening Japan-Philippines partnership. Once defined by wartime history, their relationship now centers on shared values and regional stability. Japan's support strengthens a network of like-minded nations upholding a free and open Indo-Pacific. The deal cements security cooperation from joint training to shared maintenance. It also strengthens the broader U.S. alliance network in the Pacific. Trilateral exercises with the U.S. and Japan will become more common, enhancing collective defense. The Abukuma-class ships would be at the heart of this new security architecture. 6 new warships in the Philippine fleet would send ripples across the South China Sea. The main target, China, whose maritime militia and Coast Guard have harassed Filipino vessels for years. The Abukuma-class ships offer credible deterrence, forcing Chinese vessels to be more cautious. Their presence would better protect Filipino fishermen and assert Philippine rights. Other Southeast Asian nations would welcome a more capable Philippines, encouraging regional resilience. China will likely condemn the move and may escalate patrols, raising short-term tensions. The Philippines must use the ships defensively and keep communication open to avoid conflict. The goal: deterrence, not provocation. Accepting the Abukuma-class ships is just the beginning. The real work starts with refitting, deciding between quick upgrades or a full modernization. A comprehensive overhaul could transform these ships into versatile, multi-role frigates, but at higher cost and time. The Navy must balance immediate needs with long-term goals. New doctrines and rigorous training will be essential for effective integration. The acquisition should spark broader military modernization, including air support, logistics, and communications. This must be part of a holistic, long-term defense plan. The final decision on the Japanese warships is one of the most consequential in a generation. Accepting all 6 would signal the Philippines' readiness to take greater responsibility for its defense and regional security. A revitalized Navy would strengthen the country's international standing and alliances. The ships are more than assets. They're a down payment on the nation's commitment to security. A stronger Navy means better protection for resources, fishermen, and disaster response. This is about securing the future for the next generation. The challenges of cost and integration are real, but inaction is riskier. Passing on this opportunity means accepting continued disadvantage. Acquiring these ships is a bet on the Philippines' future as a proud maritime nation. The world is waiting for Manila's answer.